Endorsing a product can be a good thing. The George Foreman grill, the David Beckham pants brand I can't afford, the Jules Gill hamster suicide automator. It gives legitimacy to a product and, if done correctly, can shift units like no one's business. However, so many celebrities out there will gladly chuck their name to anything in the chase of a quick buck, and nowhere has this been more apparent than with video games. Time and time again, we've been burned by social media darlings in digital form. But which were the worst? Well, let's find out. With this in mind, I'm Jules for Whatculture.com, and these are the 10 worst celebrity/brand endorsed video games of all time. Number 10. Prince Interactive. Have you ever picked up a controller and thought, boy, I wish I could be playing as pop legend Prince doing menial tasks in order to complete an ego-stroking challenge? No? Oh, well, because that's exactly what Prince Interactive is. It's some of the easiest puzzles I've ever encountered, wrapped in a mist coating that is so light you can almost see the game it's trying to rip off underneath. It's complemented, and I use this word lightly, with interviews from other celebrities who all fawn over Prince and how amazing he was. What a great reward. What a great reward. Am I right? Yes, no, you're welcome. Number 9. Shaq Fu. I have played this game for literally minutes, therefore I've seen all that Shaq Fu has to offer. To call this game shallow as a puddle is an offense to pools of liquid everywhere, as this game has nothing to it. To its credit, it doesn't look that bad and the animation flows very smoothly. However, there's just this small point of, why is Shaq in a fighting game against demons and wizards? Also, the game handles things about as well as somebody who's lost their arms. Combos barely work, and when they do, they can be spammed to Kingdom Come to create matches about as one-sided as challenging Josh Brown to a contest of wit. Shaq Fu, more like Shaq Chu. I'm not even going to waste my good jokes on this one. Number 8. The Playboy Mansion. Well, this is just a bit sad, isn't it? Using a computer game to get your jollies is about as sad as the 13 emails I had to send to Koei Tecmo in order to get a copy of Extreme Beach Volleyball 3 Special Edition. I have no shame. In this game, which sees you manipulate the events of the Playboy Mansion like a perverted god, there's a bevy of material that will make your skin crawl at the thought of anyone knowing that you're playing this. It's actually not terrible when it comes to how it plays, but the concept just screams of why. Also, weirdly, it's got a lot of admin to it, more than you'd expect actually, in that you're tasked with coming up with essays and content for the magazines that aren't just fake tits. So weirdly, it's boring and sexually limited. Whoa, my Tinder profile just got a new bio line. Number 7. Revolution X. Now, to my knowledge, Aerosmith have never killed anyone. That I know of. Yet, if Revolution X is anything to go by, which was released in arcades and then ported to home consoles in 1994, then they've been the cause of thousands of deaths. In the distant world of 1996, Aerosmith have been captured by an evil government who hates popular culture. So you naturally take up a rifle and start shooting the f*** out of anyone and anything in your way, because you are clearly the most mental fan on the Are You F***ing Mad farm. There is no point for Aerosmith to be in this game. There's no connection bar the fact that you occasionally fire out discs and get shitty bit-crushed versions of their songs as rewards. The arcade version of this game was actually pretty okay, but the home ports are god-awful and reeks of a brand slapping a logo on a title just to afford a little bit more hairspray. Number 6. Home Improvement Power Tool Persuit. Tim Allen woofed and weirded his way onto our screens and into our hearts with Home Improvement back in the 90s. A show about a regular man being regular with his regular job and regular family. It was unoffensive, by-the-numbers sitcom stuff, but was good for a few yucks once in a while. The world wasn't laughing so much when Power Tool Persuit hit the SNES though, as this game was hot garbage. Playing as a digitized and annoying version of Alan, we had to travel through all sorts of weird locations in search of a prototype tool that had been stolen. The animation is abusively loud and chaotic, the sound effects are more grating than Gilbert Gottfried with a cheese grater, and I cannot even begin to think what the devs were up to when they put this many leaps of faith in a platformer. The only tool here is Alan for putting his name to this trash. Number 5. Queen, the Eye. So stop me if you've heard this one before. Evil government wants to ban free expression and music, so you have to go rescue them. Yeah, it's a stock plot for a stock game bizarrely released by one of the greatest bands time has ever known. The graphics and combat are dire, as is the fact that while this game does include a lot of Queen songs, they've all been changed, digitized, or remixed to the point where most of them sound shit, and that takes some doing with Queen songs. The game came and went with all the traction of a fat bottom girl sliding on ice, with the controls feeling like they've been made by somebody with 3 hands. Slow, clunky, and stupid. Avoid. Number 4. NSYNC. Get to the show. No thanks, I'd never want to go to one of their shows. Number 3. Make My Video. The Make My Video range were a series of air-quote video games that allowed players the ability to edit live music videos of your nan's favourite boy bands of the 90s. Now, if that sounds like even an iota of fun, then I'm sorry to tell you that these titles were terrible. A huge commercial and public failure, critics lambasted the lack of actual gameplay, the terrible images and editing tools, and the fact that there was little reward for doing anything in them. This smacks of corporate marketing meetings, basically saying, how can we advertise our songs to kids and make them do the work of actually cutting together the music video, meaning that we have to put in as little effort as possible. I mean, you do get to look at Mark Wahlberg's dreamy bad boy bod, but that's of little consolation when you actually have to play this game, trust me. Number 2, Rap Jam Volume 1. NBA Jam was an amazing game, fast-paced, over-the-top, and immense fun to play with a mate. Any other basketball game for ages would be compared to this, usually unfavourably, and this title, Rap Jam Volume 1, was one of them. Opting for the blanket approach of celebrity endorsement, Rap Jam included a bunch of then-famous rappers playing basketball together. Which rappers, I hear no one ask? Well, I'll tell you. Coolio, LLJ, Flavor Flav, and Queen Latifah, who dunks like a pro? Okay then, who knew? The game did not play well. Stripped of all the fun of NBA Jam, it contained no power-ups, boring visuals, and controls that appear to have been built with pre-existing lag. That is actually impressive. I didn't even know that was possible. Yet, here it is. Thankfully, Volume 2 never showed up. And number 1, Spice World. This game is what I would make people play if I was trying to torture them for information, as it can only be described as a mound of shit held together with eye-watering visuals and a soundtrack that sounds like somebody fucking a modem. I hate this game with a passion, as my younger sister had this and would play it constantly. There was no point to this, no point at all, and the worst bit was that it was advertised as being a game which stood alongside Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper? How about Parappa go fuck yourself, you vapid bubble-headed turd? I'm sorry, I'm not even trying to be impartial with this one. I just want this and every copy of it to burn.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.